Yes, good morning, sir. I am Dr. T. Babu. I am from St. Joseph College of Engineering in the Department of EEE. I have completed my BE Instrumentation and Control Engineering and ME at PAG College of Technology in the field of control system and PhD in the same field control system from Madras Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Sorry, Crumpet. Today we can see step response of second order system. So we know that the standard transfer function for closed loop second order system is C of s by R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So where omega n is natural frequency, zeta is damping ratio. So natural frequency in terms of radian per second and zeta damping ratio. The damping ratio is defined as the ratio between actual damping to critically damping. So based on the damping ratio, we can classify the second order system into 4 categories, namely when the damping ratio is less than 1, the system is said to be under damped system. When epsilon is greater than 1, then it is called over damped system. When epsilon is equal to 0, it is called undamped system. When epsilon is equal to 1, it is called critically damped system. So today we can see the response of second order underdamped system. As we know that for second order underdamped system, your epsilon is less than 1. So let me consider epsilon is equal to 0.5, then C of s by R of s is equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 into 0.5 omega n s plus omega n square. So it will be omega n square divided by s square plus 2 into 0.5 1. So omega n s plus omega n square. The roots of the denominator function, that is characteristic equations, are s equal to minus omega n plus or minus square root of b square minus 4 ac by 2 into a is equal to 1. So it will be minus omega n plus or minus square root of, or this omega n can be taken out. So 1 minus 4, which is equal to minus omega n plus or minus omega n square root of minus 3. Hence, this function will becomes imaginary roots. So, when we are taking partial fraction for this second order system, we have to write as omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. This is your closed loop transfer function. To obtain step response, R of s value will be 1 by s. So, my C of s by equal to omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square multiplied by R of s. So, which will be equal to C of s is equal to omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, to get the time response of the system, we have to take the inverse Laplace transform for this function. So, L inverse of C of s is equal to L inverse of omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, we have to apply the partial fraction method. By applying that, we can split into two categories, two terms. That is a by s plus bs plus c divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, which is equal to omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, if you take LCM for this function, a s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square plus bs plus c into s divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square, which is equal to omega n square divided by s into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, denominator, these two functions will get cancelled. So, omega n square is equal to a into s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square plus ps plus c into s. So, just compare the coefficient of constant on both sides. So, left hand side constant is omega n square, which is equal to right hand side constant is equal to a omega n square. So, a is equal to 1 from this equation we can get it. So, in the similar way, compare the coefficient of s. So, left hand side there is no s component. So, which is equal to right hand side there are some s components a into 2 epsilon omega n into s. So, a into 2 epsilon omega n, this is the coefficient of s, plus in this term ps plus c into s. So, bs into s ps square plus cs into s. So, c into s it will be c. So, we know a is equal to 1. So, apply the a value here. So, 2 epsilon omega n plus c equal to 0. So, c equal to minus 2 epsilon omega n. In the similar way, compare the coefficient of s square. So, in the left hand side there is no s square component, in the right hand side a s square. So, a plus b s plus c into s. So, b s square. So, b equal to minus a. So, we know a is equal to 1. So, b equal to minus 1. So, apply this a b c value in the first equation. So, this equation will becomes this equation will becomes 1 by s plus minus s minus 2 zeta omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. By simplifying this, taken out this minus value. So, 1 by s minus s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, we have to take the inverse Laplace transform for these two functions. So, we know very well that the inverse Laplace transform for 1 by s is 1. So, inverse Laplace transform for 1 by s minus inverse Laplace transform for s plus 2 epsilon omega n divided by s square plus 2 epsilon omega n s plus omega n square. So, it is the simplest form. So, but we have to apply certain rules so that we can make it into the simple form and then we can take the inverse Laplace transform for this function. So, this will be 1 minus inverse Laplace transform s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. So, to get this Laplace transform for s plus 2 epsilon omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. But we know a basic formula for Laplace transform of 1 is equal to 1 by s, Laplace transform of a sin omega t is equal to omega divided by s plus a square plus omega square. In the similar way, Laplace inverse of a cos omega t, which is equal to s plus a divided by s plus a the whole square plus omega square. So, we have to make this denominator function into s plus a the whole square plus b square, like such a kind of formula. So, what I am going to do means take out the coefficient of s. Coefficient of s is 2 zeta omega n, divide by 2, square this term and add and subtract this term. So, it will becomes s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square plus square this term, add and subtract epsilon square omega n square minus epsilon square omega n square. So, by adding and subtracting a same number will not affect any value change. So, by consider these terms, we can simplify it into s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega n square minus zeta square omega n square. So, this can be simplified as s plus 2 zeta omega n divided by s plus zeta omega n the whole square plus omega n square 1 minus epsilon square. This can be called it as omega d, that is called a damped frequency. So, this function can be simplified as 2 zeta omega n divided by s plus zeta omega n the whole square plus omega d square. So, your omega d value will be becomes omega n square root of 1 minus epsilon square. Okay. So, by applying this, we can get the C of t value s plus 2 epsilon omega n divided by s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. So, here we have only epsilon omega n. So, I am going to make the numerator changes s plus instead of 2 epsilon omega n plus epsilon omega n I am going to write, and then s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. So, again I can split it into epsilon omega n divided by s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. So, now it is, you can compare with the this term and plus epsilon omega n divided by s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. By applying this term, a is nothing but epsilon omega n, b is omega d. So, it will be a is epsilon omega n cos omega dt plus this value will be epsilon omega n divided by s plus epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. So, I have to make this the omega d மாதிரி மேலே இருந்துச்சுன்னா, sorry, if the omega d is available here, then I can compare these two things, I can able to simplify this, otherwise I have to modify this. So, instead of that, I am going to multiply and divide by omega d, epsilon omega n multiplied by omega d divided by omega d into s plus omega n zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. So, we know very well that omega d is equal to epsilon omega n into omega d divided by s plus omega n, sorry, zeta omega n the whole square plus omega d square. This value omega d equal to omega n in the square root of 1 minus epsilon square. This omega n and omega n will get cancelled. So, here epsilon divided by square root of 1 minus epsilon square into omega d divided by s plus 2 zeta, sorry, epsilon omega n the whole square plus omega d square. Right. So, then it will be equal to sin omega dt. So, epsilon square root of 1 minus epsilon square into epsilon omega n sin omega dt. So, I can sum these two terms here also epsilon omega n cos omega dt plus in the similar way we can write here also epsilon omega n cos omega dt. Then we can simplify this, taken out this epsilon omega n everything outside. By simplifying this, then we can obtain one more s comma sorry one component is the inverse Laplace transform for 1 by s. I am combined together. So, I am simplifying this. So, 1 minus epsilon omega n. So, cross multiply this and take the LCM for this. Square root of 1 minus epsilon square. So, 1 minus epsilon omega n divided by square root of 1 minus epsilon square, 1 minus epsilon square cos omega dt plus sin omega dt. So, we know very well that this is a triangle which represent that damping ratio. So, from this triangle sin phi is equal to opposite by hypotenuse 1 minus epsilon square divide by 1 and cos phi is equal to zeta by 1. So, instead of having zeta we can write cos phi and instead of having 1 minus epsilon square it will be sorry 1 is missing. So, we can simplify this term into 1 minus epsilon omega n divided by square root of 1 minus epsilon square. This will be sin by cos omega dt plus cos phi sin omega dt. So, it will be 1 minus epsilon omega n square root of this is nothing but sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So, sin a plus b formula sin omega dt plus pi. So, we have to simplify this. And we have to obtain the C of t value for second order underdamped system. So, from this we can able to get the response of second order underdamped system. Any doubt you can clarify. Thank you.